How are you?
Yes, fine, thank you for asking. I am trying to learn this whole new way of being, called being a creditor in commerce.
Oh, how interesting. How is it going?
Yes. It is going well. I have had to do a lot of reading, and listening, and thinking, but slowly I am learning the concepts.
I do not know anything about it. Please could you explain a bit, please?
Well, first, you have to understand there is two different types of law.
Oh, really?
Most people don't realize that the laws that the government makes are not actually laws. They are private rules called statutes. They apply only to citizens of the society.
Oh, how interesting. But what difference does that make?
Well, let me explain. A lot of people think they are a citizen. But, in actual fact, people are no more a citizen than they are their Facebook profile. Their citizen simply represents them, and they act on behalf of their citizen, in the same way that their Facebook profile represents them in the Facebook world.
So you mean to tell me I am not a citizen?
That's right. When you were born, your mother informed the state about you, and she applied for the creation of a citizen, and they issued you a social insurance number which represents your citizen.
But why did my mother do that?
Well, your mother wanted you to be safe and integrated into the society so you would be eligible for the social benefits and protections offered by the society.
Well, that sounds good. I don't understand. What is the drawback?
Well, it is not necessarily a bad thing, but in exchange for these social benefits, the society also controls your citizen. They can tax it, and control it, and do whatever they want with it basically.
Wait. Hold on. I am confused. I thought I was a citizen. And now you are telling me I'm not?
Yes, I know this whole topic can be very confusing at first, but once you get familiar with these ideas, it actually becomes quite exciting and enjoyable. You see, there is two parts to you. The first part is yourself as a real physical woman. And then there is a legal part to you called your strawman. The strawman only exists in the legal fictional world. It is just a piece of paperwork, it is just a corporation. Or a trust, and it is identified by a name and number. Most people live their whole life being completely connected to this strawman. They are responsible for any debts it incurs, but on the positive side they also enjoy benefit privileges which are provided to it by the society.
Okay, I think I understand a little bit. Please continue. I am finding this interesting. I would like to know more.
As a real natural woman, you are a child of God. You are subject to God's law, or otherwise known as the law of the land, or natural law, or common law. Common law is common sense. It is much more simple than statute law. Basically, so long as you do not harm anybody or damage their property, and so long as you act honorably towards your fellow men, then you are living in accordance with God's law. But the type of law created by government is called statutory law. These laws are very complicated and they are always changing. But the good news is, the statutory laws created by government only apply to the citizen strawman in the democracy, not to the real men and women of the republic.
But what is the problem with this? I thought our government protects us and keeps us safe from terrorists.
Well, that may be so. But what you need to realize is, the government is a private corporation with its own private rules. They are a business. I will give you an analogy to help you understand. Imagine that the government is a private corporation just like a gym. They charge fees just like a gym. And they provide services just like a gym. And they have their own private rules just like a gym. For example, your gym might have a rule that you cannot run by the swimming pool. And if you run by the swimming pool, you could face a fine of $10. All the rules of the gym will be in the contract when you become a member. Well, it is basically the same with the corporate democratic government. They have their own rules. Every time you accept a benefit provided by the society, it is presumed and implied that you agree to all of their rules and statutes. And it is implied that you are responsible for the national debt.
Wow. This is a big subject. But it kind of makes sense. I am interested to know more. I still don't understand what is the problem.
Well, there is not necessarily a problem. You don't need to worry, But you probably don't realize that a large amount of your taxes actually go to pay the interest on the national debt. The national debt is money that was basically created out of thin air. So what this means is the men and women in America work very hard to pay their taxes, which actually just pays the interest on a debt that was created out of thin air, and is run by a group of private bankers.
Hold on. You have lost me again. What do you mean, private bankers? I thought our taxes go to pay for our roads and hospitals and things like that. Are you telling me they don't?
Well, look. Listen. The Federal Reserve is a private bank that has an exclusive license to issue the nation's currency. But the money we use is fiat money that is just printed out of thin air. It has no real value. It is just paper and digits on computer screens. But the problem is, the Federal Reserve charge interest on this money.
But why do they charge interest if they created it out of thin air? Surely they can't just create it for free.
Yes, exactly. Now you are starting to get the idea.
Let's talk some more. Would you like to join me for a coffee?
Yes, I will join you for a coffee so we can continue talking.